Hey friends, Sam Farkas with Green Hills Guitar Studio here. Wanted to do a quick 5-minute lesson. So the 5-minute lessons are a weekly series that are based on questions I get from actual students while teaching guitar lessons in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so this is a question that comes up constantly. It might be the most asked question. It's how do you really learn the neck of the guitar? And there are many different ways to do this. You could play the same note across all 6 strings. I've done a video on that before. That's a pretty efficient way. You could learn your triads on all the string sets. That's a great way to do it. I think you could just brute force it and just memorize every single note. That might not be the most efficient way to do it, but I guess you can get there. You could learn a scale system. There's lots of those out there. A cage system, right? That's an idea that's based around understanding the neck through common open chord shapes. All of these are totally valid, and I think they make a lot of sense, and I think they'll get you there if you really want to work at it. But I want to present another idea, a more musical way of learning the neck. The idea is to take any piece of language you have, right? So any lick and anything that you would play as a solo or some type of melodic idea, right? And then see how many different places you can play that same thing note for note and be conscious of which octave you're in. So I'll give you an example. Here's a kind of a silly lick that's based out of, you guessed it, the A minor pentatonic scale, the one that every guitar player knows. Okay, so let's use it to create a piece of language. Maybe it's okay, whatever, fair enough, right? Now let's see where else we can access those same notes. Okay, that's at least 4 different places you can play the same exact thing in the same octave. There's actually a couple more positions in which you could play that same melodic idea. All right, so now you're learning to figure out where these sounds are in different positions on the fretboard and truly how the notes relate to each other, not just based on a pattern. Once you've got that figured out in one octave, try taking it to the next octave and see how it works. It's kind of like repeating the same process. Right, in at least 3 different positions there, you can play the same thing. There's even another one as well. Once you feel comfortable there, you could take it up another octave. Okay, something interesting starts happening as you move up into this 3rd octave where you're on essentially the top 2 strings. Obviously, we don't have another string higher than our E string, so our choice is to start to move things up that string set, and also to kind of move down the neck, right? So if we have this thing, we have to think about where else we could play that. That's the same octave. Here's another one. Sorry. Yeah, it's starting to sound a little funky that high up the neck on a lower string set. So that might not be a very usable position for that lick. But either way, you're able to find these short melodies or licks or ideas anywhere on the guitar. It's not really position based anymore. It's more about playing a piece of language or an idea anywhere on the instrument. And that really forces you to recognize the relationship from one note to the next and really listen for the relationship from one note to the next rather than relying on a pattern. Okay, so this is a pretty simple concept. You could do this today. Take any lick you know. Doesn't matter what it is. I would keep it simple at first. Play it where you always play it, right? And then find at least 2 different other places you can play it on the neck. Then take that idea and repeat it, but in a different octave. This is a surefire way to gain an understanding of where everything is laid out on the fingerboard. And what I like about this is it's not some weird exercise of running scales or playing through the cage system. It's actual language that you would use, actual licks and melodic ideas that you might use in a musical context, right? All right, have fun.